Hi fools, and welcome to another video from the Motley Fool. I'm Owen Benelak and I'm going to talk today about Vodafone. Vodafone, the company that we know as a UK mobile phone giant, bestrides the world, and it bestrides America with its 45% shareholding of Verizon Wireless. By far their most valuable asset, also the most valuable asset of Verizon, which is the holding company that it set up this joint venture with. And it kind of underwrites the profits of both companies. It would be very attractive for the Verizon to own all of this because it pretty much already runs it. There's no integration risks. It's going to be prepared to pay quite a lot for that. And Vodafone has been looking for years to get its value out of this joint venture. And even though it's, I think, a bit scared that it would have to make the money somewhere else if it sold it, nevertheless, it would crystallize the value that it has there. And you, or me, as Vodafone shareholders, we would be sitting there going, we've already seen our share price run up to nearly £2, pretty much at a 10-year high, still getting a nice yield, but still the temptation is to sell. So what do you do? What do you do here? It's kind of a really kind of scary poker game. Verizon, we think, is prepared to pay about $100 billion. Vodafone shareholders, we think, are prepared to accept about $120 billion. But you're playing poker, big money stakes, you know, significant interest on all sides, jostling for position, everyone trying to get the best price, you would think. But then I read recently in Reuters and I've written this down, a Mr. Craig Leopold, portfolio manager at Columbia Management Investment Advisors. Mr. Leopold, his fund owns 22 million Verizon shares, so he's a big player, and he's going to be keen, you would think, to see management get the asset for as little as possible. No. Mr. Leopold says to Reuters, "No way do I dream that $100 billion is going to get this deal done. It's just not going to happen." That's not exactly a vote of confidence for his board and not exactly a great way to play poker. In fact, he goes on to say, "I think shareholders would be prepared to pay as high as $130 billion, he says, because it would still be accretive to Verizon." So a bit late he tacks that on. And he's right. It probably still would make money for Verizon. I don't think it's a shoe-in. I think the US market's looking pretty mature. But it does seem a strange way to go about, you know, supporting a board and bidding for a company. And then he does go on to say, but the preference, he says, would be for a lower price, like $120 billion. Well, Mr. Leopold, it's a bit late when you've said you'll pay $130 billion. If you're selling your house, it's not usually a good idea to say, "I'll take 100 grand, but you can pay me 150. He doesn't seem to be maybe the world's greatest poker player. I'm sure he's excellent at his job, but I'm sure the Verizon board would like him to maybe not give so many opinions to Reuters. And I think for you guys, for me as shareholders, it does sort of show that we're in a fantasy world. We don't know what the price is going to be. You could always sell half and keep the other half, see what happens.